Hey, it's Caitlin, and I guess we're back. My health has been very rocky kind of over the whole course of 2024, and so it has just meant that I've had zero capacity to really do anything, never mind record things or go places to show you guys. But over the last couple of months, especially maybe since the start of July, I've been slowly starting to feel a little bit better. And I really enjoy kind of documenting my life, talking about books, things like that. And so that is something that I hopefully can pick up again in kind of a New Year season of feeling a lot better. This video is basically just life catch up. I'm off for a few days and then James is in Paris for a few days next week, but we're gonna hang out while I fill my time and have the house to myself, which is always kind of fun. It is currently like 10 a.m. on the last Thursday of August, and I'm doing something I think for the first time today, which is actually very exciting, and I'm gonna get a facial. And so this morning I'm kind of just gonna hang out, a good time to kill. I want to catch up on my reading journal and my life journal and then just do some reading. I don't really think I've ever shown this because I'm not sure. I've recorded a few things, but I don't actually think I've put out a video this year, which makes me sad because I actually really enjoy it and I'm already seeing the benefits in my own life, in my work life, of getting more comfortable talking to a camera, which was one of the reasons I wanted to set out and do this. So this is, it's quite thick actually, it's got quite a few pages. It's just a big notebook that I got from Amazon, and at the start of every month I've been putting in, this is just July for example, kind of new releases from that month, books that I specifically want to get to, and then I'll log what books I read, when I read them and what their rating was, and then I'll just put a picture in because why not? And then I'll also kind of go through the month. I'll take lots of photos, or try to, then have just like a bit of a life journal as well. So I'm gonna put you on the time lapse, I'm gonna watch some Virgin River, I'm gonna do some doodles, let's go. It's nearly time for me to go, but while I was upstairs getting dressed, a fun package arrived, and this is the lovely box of goodies. They had a bank holiday sale over the weekend, and then because I'd never ordered with them before, they also had like a welcome code as well, so I managed to get lots of goodies. First up is I got their palette. It's got like 4 blush shades and 2 highlighters, but I think one of them, especially on me, is basically a bronzer. So this is that. And then I bought both of their makeup brushes because, to be honest, they looked brilliant and they looked like exactly what I needed. So first up I got the multi-purpose face brush. Oh, it's so cute. It is, I think it's like smaller than I anticipated, but it actually looks perfect. And then I also got the Duo multi-purpose face brush. I don't think I realised how big this was, but this is absolutely huge. Like, it's the size of my head. But for now, let's grab a snack and then go to the spa. I hope you can tell I am back from my facial. I feel like I'm like glistening. Reading update. I'm currently reading a lot of books and I currently don't want to read them. What's new? I feel like I've started a bunch of books over the summer. I've been in a huge slump. I feel like I've picked up and put down a bunch of books. I have been really trying to not buy any books, and I actually think I've been doing really well since like June. I think I've only bought like 1 book, but I can tell you for a fact that one of the books that I've started and have not finished is The Fury by Alex Michaelides, I think is how you pronounce his name. I read The Silent Patient and I loved it. We also have The Maidens upstairs, I know that, but I just haven't picked that up. And then I bought this and I'm currently on chapter 6, and until last night I was actually on chapter 5. Actually maybe even halfway through chapter 4. So that was pretty much how it went. It has sat on the bookshelf for a really long time. I would like to read more of this. Good morning. It is Friday morning. I'm just making a nice coffee. Plan of attack for today is I'm about to leave the house and I'm gonna go down to Sprucefield because I want to go to the boats, and then I'm gonna go to my parents because they're going on holiday tomorrow for a while. So let's go and hang out. I am done in M&S and I bought this shirt in 2 different colours because I go to reach for this shirt all the time and it's either super crinkly or in the wash. So I'm hoping with like the darker colours that they will like not be as crinkly, especially the black, or that like it's easier to style even if it's crinkly, and also easier to be like an overshirt. Hopefully the black and the blue will be better. I don't really think I have anything that colour blue in my wardrobe, so I'm quite excited to kind of mix it up a bit. I also popped into Nike and The Works and managed to not pick up anything, even though they had the new Sprayed Edges edition of Daydream by Hannah Grace, which just released. But I'm holding firm because I currently have it on audio from the library, and so I have been listening to it as I've been driving today, and so I'm gonna just hold firm and try and get it done within the time limit of my library hold. I am home. I feel like it's been such a busy day. I feel like my Fridays when I'm off I just always end up to be so busy. I am home. I ended up going home via another Big Boots, and actually I'm so glad I did because I picked up this Roche-Posay anti-blemish like set. They had a big sale on with like the Boots card, and so I've got, it's like a cleanser, a toner and moisturizer. I feel like is a lot to get all at once, but was so much better value, and I feel like I could justify having each thing, so it just made the most sense. My dinner is on the way with Deliveroo, so jump cut to Saturday, I guess. James just left to go to Paris. I just got up. I'm getting ready for the gym. I've got a weightlifting class at 9, and today I'm going to sort out this sink cabinet and get to it. I've got like 45 minutes before I need to go to the gym, so I'll probably just get everything out, wipe down the like unit and stuff, and then go to the gym, come back and like sort everything out, probably downstairs. Okay, so I've organised everything just out on the table. So I have like body, teeth, hair, James, extras, skincare, and then makeup is all here. And so now I'm going to go to the gym and then come back and organise it all. I have finished sorting through all my cosmetics and things, and I have put them back upstairs, and I'm so satisfied with how well it looks. And so now it is super sunny, so I am just gonna go and sit outside. One good thing is, as I was sorting all my cosmetics, I finished Daydream by Hannah Grace. I really liked it. I think it was like the least like sexual of all of the 3 in that series so far, which I think I mean I definitely prefer that. I liked the fact that there was a lot more like story and then like actually getting to know each other, but that was a nice easy romance to finish out the month. And I'm gonna try and read more of The Fury I think this afternoon, and if I'm really not clicking with that then I will just DNF it and try and read more of Reality Check, which I really need to get into, or decide to DNF. Okay, the sunshine of yesterday is gone. It is grey, it is rainy, it is a little bit miserable. I put on a hoodie, I'm tucked up in a blanket. I have no other plans for today, and so I'm just going to cozy up, put on a moody playlist or maybe some background YouTube and just read.
This book I absolutely adored. Funny Feelings by this author Tara DeWitt. I read it on Kindle Unlimited like years ago when James and I were in Copenhagen, and it was so good. I really, really liked it. But I have been hesitant to pick up any other of her books. I know she has one called The Co-op as well that I keep seeing in the works and I just keep not picking up. But I wasn't expecting this book to be so funny. And I'm really, really enjoying that. So let's keep reading. I've just had to stop to start recording because I think something very dramatic is about to happen. And there's about to be like some sort of whole family reveal. And I wish I'd started recording 30 seconds earlier. Oh, dip. That was so much in one chapter. I just feel like I need a second to like genuinely decompress. I was not expecting this book to be this good. This is so unhinged. This is just my brain right now. I legitimately don't know if I have words for this book. The last 50 pages had so many twists and turns.
Good morning, it is Monday. End of the workday, time to chill. I am going to update my reading tracker for August and get started on September, and then potentially start reading my next book. Time to start a new book, and that new book is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. A few months ago bought a yearly membership with one of the New York Public Libraries. And for perspective, the Northern Irish Library on Libby has just under 40,000 books, and the New York Public Library has 140,000 books. So that membership is absolutely paying for itself. I know nothing about the book going in, other than it's called The Debutantes. So I assume it has something to do with that. So let's see. Good morning, it's Tuesday and I've just been working away. We had our first team meeting back after the summer. One of the biggest things I need to do for work is I need to do our budgets for the year, specifically our kind of big general budget, which stresses me out every single time because I'm terrible at finances, and so I feel like that's my big task for today. But I realised earlier that Wild Eyes, Elsie Silver's new book, comes out today, I think. So it's currently 11:45. So I feel like if I can push through, finish the budget and finish a few other things that I need to get done, I can run over to the works and see if they have it. I have been on a big no buying books kind of for the last few months, and I've actually done so well. I think I've maybe only bought one or two books, but I know for a fact that I will want to read this book, and from what I understand they the spines perfectly match. So since I have Wild Love, I need them to be together because it feels illegal to only have one of them. It is time to go and get this book. It's just so pretty. And when you put her next to her twin, they look so good. The spines match up, which I just think is so cute, especially because as far as I'm aware, this is just a duology and then it's done. And so it's so nice that everything just feels like it matches. I also got The Co-op by Tara DeWitt from reading Rootbound the other day and just loving it. I am gonna give this a shot. This is my last evening of total peace before James goes home. So I'm gonna put it to good use and I'm gonna do absolutely nothing and just read and lounge. Okay, so it is pretty late. I can't be bothered to fix this lighting situation. The TV's just spinning ads. I am just off the phone with James, and it turns out he's coming home a lot earlier than I had predicted tomorrow. He's going to be home around like lunchtime rather than bedtime. So I need to do some tidying. I have been listening to The Match by Sarah Adams on the library. I read this book, I'm gonna say like 2 years ago, and I binged like all of her books that were out at the time in like 3 weeks. Loads of them were on Kindle Unlimited. I was just rattling through them. I have been listening because they're all in the library and we love free books. So I have 52 minutes left. So I'm hoping that I can blitz and get everything done in that time and be in bed to finish reading some more before I go to sleep. Good morning. I look terrible. But basically, plan of attack is that this morning I need to sort out a bunch of aid that was donated. There's a lady that I've known for 4 or 5 years now who regularly drops off kind of a lot of kids' clothes and things like that, and then we take them and we make sure they get into the hands of people that need them the most. Good morning, it's Friday. Today is my day off, so I actually don't really have many plans for today. I am gonna kick off by drinking my coffee and reading the Bible, and then I have a few errands to get done. So let's dive in. The book I'm reading is called Misreading Scripture Through Western Eyes. I started this book before I went to our staff summer conference like 2 weeks ago, because I had to read it for that. I only had to read certain chapters and I was super tight on time, so I literally just managed to finish what I needed to while I was on the plane over. And so I have like 3 or 4 chapters that ironically are all at the start of the book that I still need to read, so I am going to do that now because the book was so interesting. It is about culture and understanding how we've warped kind of biblical understanding through culture, and just offering some other perspectives on how we can see Bible stories in the culture that they were originally intended and not through our Western eyes, which I think is really interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna finish that and then I think we're gonna do just like a wrap up of this video. It's a couple days later, so let's summarize and wrap up. Starting off with the books that I read and listened to. First up was Daydream by Hannah Grace on audio. I liked that of this series so far, it seemed like this one to me had the most like character involvement before there was like a romantic element to the relationship. But I liked that I felt like the characters really were friends, or that they really had some personal investment before they added a sexual element to the relationship. Next up, I read Rootbound by Tara DeWitt. I was really not expecting to like this book as much as I did. I just kind of thought it was going to be a bit of a cheesy romance. I did not expect to be gasping, crying by the end of it. I will say afterwards that I have started to struggle to remember exactly what happened in the book. Once I remember it, I'm like, oh yeah, and then this happened, and then this happened. But simply thinking about the book, I remember that I loved it, but I can't remember everything all at once, which is maybe fine. But on the whole, I really loved this book. that kind of kicked off a bit of a country theme, and I read Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series, which I now know is a series. Originally I thought this was a duology, but it is actually a series. In this book we meet Skylar and Weston. Skylar is a music artist who comes to Rose Hill to work with Ford from the first book, and Weston, you hopefully remember, is Rosie's brother from the first book. Once again, really love Elsie Silver's writing. I find it so quick to read, so easy to get through, and I find really high investment in the characters and the relationships, even kind of from the off. She writes really likable characters, and her villains are always detestable. Is that a word? This is a surprisingly long book for a romance. It sits just over about 430 pages, but once you're in it, it doesn't feel like that at all, and I definitely flew through this book just like I did with Wild Love. If you have read The Chestnut Springs and you enjoyed it, I would definitely recommend this series. Wow, the sun's coming out. Or if you enjoy kind of small town romance, cowboy romance, anything like that, I definitely think this is worth a read. One book I started but actually did not finish is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Partially I DNF'd this because the hold on the library was only 2 weeks and I was in kind of a slump, busyness, and I chose to read other things instead of it. And so partially I ran out of the hold and someone else had a hold on it, so I couldn't renew it and I didn't want to buy it. And partially was because I was finding it really hard to get through the story. I kept thinking, surely I've nearly finished the book, surely I've nearly finished the book. On the whole, I like the premise, but maybe if I was the target audience of being actually a teenager, I would have kind of felt a bit more buy-in, especially as the main characters are all kind of sitting around that 18 to 20 range. I also listened to The Match by Sarah Adams on audio. This is just an easy and fun re-listen, and I've since listened to The Enemy as well, which is like the next one in that, I think, duology set. I really like Sarah Adams. I think the books she writes are really interesting. I think she has such a skill, predominantly because she has written closed door romances, that she really knows how to make you feel invested in a couple without showing a sexual aspect. She writes yearning and connection and intimacy, but without showing graphic sexual detail, and I think that is really valuable, because not everyone wants to read that. I love romance, but I do not really enjoy reading sex scenes, so I think she has a real skill for that. And the last book I read was Misreading Scripture with Western Eyes. This is the book that I've been talking about most recently. It is a book that I read for work, but actually really enjoyed it and have highly recommended it to a bunch of friends. I think this book helps to add another perspective and challenge kind of some of the Western opinions of how we've understood scripture today, and just encourages us to really understand context so that we can actually understand what biblical authors said. That is all of the books that I read. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit more of just like life as well. As always, you can find me over on Kate's Literature on Instagram. See you soon.